Hi, I'm back. Angelica, the 3D printer girl from 3dprototype.com. Last time we installed the Z mounts. Okay, and let's not waste any more time. Today we're going to install the lower Y plate with a rod. Okay, first you have to measure your clamps. Okay. Approximately, it's not strict for now because you might need to move it around later on, but from the edge of the integrated vertices, about 30 millimeters to the end of the clamp. Okay, so let's assemble the lower Y plate, and that's the smaller one. Okay, you'll need the 4 IGUS bearings. So I already installed the first 3. Okay, and we're gonna do the last one. For each, you'll need an IGUS bearing, 2 of the M3 25 millimeters with washer, M3 washer on them. Okay, and 2 extra ones, 2 extra washers, and 2 M3 nuts. Okay, so you're gonna put them on the holes, not the ends, but this one right here, the one next to them. So the M3s. Okay, these are small. Now my hands are small, and I still have a hard time putting them on, so just take your time. Now when we put these on, we don't want them to be too tight because you want them to, still move around for the rods when we install those, like that. Okay, so they're not too tight. You still want them to be able to move around like that. Okay? Okay, so now we're gonna take our rods, okay? And what we're gonna do is pull them through about halfway. Okay, and again, that's 30 millimeters per clamps there. So this is where our spool holders come into place, because we can turn them upside down, or else you'll have to install the Y plate there the regular way, and this is a lot easier. Okay, so what we're gonna do, okay, just take them, okay, push them through. about there. And we're gonna push this through until it gets to the edge, so it's plush. Okay, flush right there. Actually, it's gonna be flush all the way through, and it's just about. It's just about flush right there, just about. Okay, right there. Okay, so we got our rods, the white plate on them. The edge of the chassis should measure at 260 millimeter. Okay, we need the plate to move freely. Okay, so you need to measure your rods from the edge of the chassis to the edge of the rod on all four corners. Okay, now I've placed mine at 59 millimeters on each side here. So you just need to measure it so your Y plate moves freely with no effort whatsoever, and that's the reason why you know these need to be loose. We'll tighten them later, but for now that needs to be loose and move freely just like that. Okay, the rods need to be completely parallel to the chassis. Okay, and all your measurements have to be exact because you don't want any pinches while you're, you know, printing. And if you do need to move them, because these are pretty tight by now, you just take the rod and, you know, the plastic part, and you just, you know, push it with a little bit of effort, you know, whichever way to get that measurement you need to set the rods in place. Okay? Okay, so now let's tighten the bearings, okay? You just take an Allen wrench and you just, you know, hold the nut and just twirl it. And we do this gradually, okay? Because we want to make sure it's running smooth. Okay, so you just do it gradually on each one of them, a little bit at a time. And you might have to do this several times because you have to keep making sure it's running smooth. Okay, and we're going to keep doing this until the bearing is tight. You know, there's no movement, but it's running smooth. This is very important. Once this is set, you wouldn't have to tinker with it later on, okay? And also, what you also have to check is that when you're pushing it against the chassis, if it's square, that needs to happen on both ends. Okay, is it square? Okay, and again, you know, you might have to do it several times. Hold the nut down, just until it's complete, you know, until it's all tight and running smooth, squared up to the chassis. Okay, because these move freely, and so they need to be tightened, and again, running smoothly. After that, you won't have to tinker with it, just like the Z-mounts. Okay, so it took me about 15 minutes to get this, you know, just right, adjusting the clamps and these, just so it's completely smooth, but the bearings again are tight. Okay, So now we're gonna work on the belt tensioner, and it's these 3 pieces here. You need to take the biggest part of the belt tensioner. You take a M3 25mm through that hole, and this is, you know, the shiny side up, and put it through that hole with a nut at the end. So now we're gonna take this piece, shiny side up, put it like that, and we'll take another 25mm with a washer, through that hole. On each side. And a washer and a nut. Just like that, and we'll take this piece, okay, again, shiny side up, and then we'll do the same thing. Okay, there you go.